Yeah, now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason. As always, Mr. Zack Partridge in the house. What up?
Repping the whole enchilada podcast.
The whole enchilada.
Our guy Marcus Green. If you guys like business podcasts, everybody likes the MMA podcast. If you like some business, entrepreneurial, good life stuff podcast, Marcus Green, the whole enchilada podcast. Really good podcast. And obviously, Legacy Roofing.
Legacy Roofing in the house.
Repping all the peeps today.
Yeah, I like it. I like the belts in the back too. Those are pretty fancy.
Yeah.
Are those the ones we're giving out in September, or are those the ones that?
These are the ones that the winners didn't get because they missed weight at the last.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Mongolian and Raymond Lawley, but
Raymond Lawley. Ah, man.
They'll get to redeem themselves. They both won and looked good. They'll get to redeem themselves.
You just texted me some big news before we came on live. UFC 279. We got Chimaev and Diaz.
Nate Diaz final UFC fight.
It's not going to end well for him.
So I was on the phone with our good friend Cody when that happened, and it was like, they're trying to get Nate killed for his last fight. Like, that's not cool, man. Like, hey, UFC, you know what? Not cool. Dana, big fan of yours. You just sent me something. Love Dana. Like, we're big fans of Dana. But you know what? Feeding Nate to Chimaev, not cool, man. Not cool at all.
It sells. It's going to sell.
It's not cool, bro. It's just not.
It's not cool. It's not cool.
I could just see Chimaev picking up Nate, carrying him across the cage, and Nate, put me down.
What do you think about, before we do the recap, what do you think about Oliveira and Makhachev in Abu Dhabi? Oliveira is saying, like, screw it. I will go to Abu Dhabi and I will fight you in Abu Dhabi. Do you think that's Oliveira's way of saying, I'm going to prove that I really am the champ? He just doesn't care.
I'm on the Oliveira train. Sorry.
How do you bet against him? Like, I know Makhachev is like.
I know. You know what? Took me a minute to get there, right?
Yeah.
Took me a minute, but you know what? I've actually gotten to the point where, like, you know what? I actually feel good about, like, I'm not saying how can you bet against him. I'm like, I'm sitting here going, there's a lot of telltale signs that if he wins, people should say we should have known better. Now, if Islam wins and he does it, then it's just like, okay, that's very impressive, right?
Yeah.
But for Oliveira to be plus 300, the disrespect.
Come on, bro.
I mean, we can break it down, but I would just like to point out a few things right here, right? Just look at the level of competition these guys are facing.
Yeah.
Dan Hooker. Like, he's good, but he's not exactly lighting the world on fire right now.
Yep.
Right? Just got blanked by Arnold Allen. Like, he's on a 4-fight losing streak? 3 or 4 fight losing streak?
I think so,
now?
3 or 4,
Hooker?
yeah.
Hooker's on a 4-fight losing streak. 4. So it's like, okay, beat Dan Hooker. I'm not trying to crap on Dan Hooker. I like Dan Hooker. I think he's a good fighter.
Yeah.
He just probably went to the top a little too fast. Beat Bobby Green on a week's notice, who just fought, like, the week or two before?
Yeah.
2 weeks before that, and fought a striker, so didn't do really any wrestling that camp. And beat Bobby Green, like.
Change your internet.
It's like, okay, you change your internet.
Mine's fine this time today.
It's you, dog. My internet's stable.
You're grainy. Your picture's really grainy. Yeah. It's not me this time. It's not me this time, you guys. It's Zack. I didn't do it.
Okay.
All right. Okay, there you go. It's better.
All right. So, yeah. So, he's beat Hooker. He's beat Bobby Green. Like, before that, like, Thiago Moises, like, it was a good fight. He didn't run through Thiago Moises.
No, he didn't.
You know what I mean? Like, And I'm like, so I'm sitting there looking at these people, and I'm like Oliveira runs through Thiago Moises.
He's pretty much ran through everybody.
I know, but I'm just like in my head, I'm like, I think Oliveira like runs through Thiago Moises. Like Islam didn't just run through him. Somebody said like Drew Dober. I mean, yeah, he ragdolled Drew Dober, but these are the guy he's fighting in his last few fights, right? I'm not trying to like bang whatever, but look what Oliveira's done.
Gaethje, oh yeah,
top
Gaethje,
title contender,
first round,
top tier, first round submission.
Yeah.
Poirier, who I really did believe was the best lightweight in the world at that time, kind of made it look easy. Michael Chandler overcame some adversity, answered all the questions about being a quitter, knocked him out. Like before that, Tony Ferguson, right? Yep. Who I know you're not super high on anymore, but he was still Tony Ferguson
back then. Yeah, he was Tony back then.
I mean, that was
almost subbed him, almost broke his arm.
That was his next fight after the
Kevin
the
Lee
fight. Tony, he was only one fight removed. He was only one fight removed fighting for the interim title. I mean, the level of guys he's beaten in his last 4 fights versus Islam, it's way up here. And I could argue he's been just as impressive, if even not more impressive, fighting the higher level guys. And and he has a significant advantage in the striking.
What other fighter, current or past fighter, comes forward and throws as much as Oliveira does with elbows, knees, and mixes in his takedowns with his jiu-jitsu, and he just blends? He is a mixed martial artist to me. He combines everything together. The only thing
close that we have right now is Volkanovski, and he doesn't have as many weapons. But Volkanovski just kind of comes forward, plots forward, uses everything really well, but he doesn't have as many weapons as Oliveira does.
I saw somebody say that Makhachev had more power than Oliveira, and I'm like, does he though? We haven't seen it. Gaethje's. How many guys have cracked Gaethje? Gaethje's like, that's the hardest I've ever been hit.
Yeah.
Like, and he set it up too. Did I send you that thing where the guy broke that down? Oh, man, look, if Makhachev beats him, I mean, great, but you're giving me the freaking champs at plus 300? Come on.
I'm going to take that.
Yeah, taking that all day long.
Thanks,
day long. Where do you put him if he beats Islam with his at a plus 300 underdog in Abu Dhabi? Where do you put him?
Number 1.
He's got to be pound for pound, right? If he beats Islam, now you're thinking, man, what would he do? What would happen if he fought Khabib? Like, dude. Hey, well, I guess we'll never know, but still. Yeah. We have we had some fun fights this weekend.
We did.
We had some fun fights this weekend. First up, we had Emily Ducote against Jessica Payne. That was a fun fight. Ducote looked good. I took a flyer on that one.
She's good.
I took a flyer.
She surprised me.
Stoltzfus and the body snatcher. Stoltzfus gets the unanimous decision. I think we both were on Grant on that one, right?
Yeah, I was on the body. Yeah, he. Another thing that I never brought up is like I did like him going up from 170 to 185, but I don't know. Stoltzfus, he looked quite a bit bigger than him in there physically.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So I don't know. Dwight might be one of those tweeners where he would service well at a 177 or 180.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jacoby gets the first round knockout against Jung.
We called that. I mean, I didn't know he'd knock him out like he did, but I thought he was the better striker, and he definitely showed it.
Bill Algeo, you called that. He was your lock of the night. And it looked like Herbert Burns blew out his knee or something.
You are okay. Oliveira gets some crap for quitting. Burns tried to quit.
I think he did too. I mean, he was crying. He was crying afterwards about his knee, but I think that was more of a, I'm crying because I just quit and I'm going to blame it on my knee. type of thing.
My favorite. It's like when you're watching baseball and a guy's like misses a pop fly and then just like goes down and starts holding his knee and like tries
Yeah.
to win. The reason why I didn't catch the routine pop flies because something happened to his knee.
Yeah.
It's just an excuse, you know.
Ricky Simone, you called that one over Jack Shore.
Man,
looked good. He looked freaking
Ricky
phenomenal.
Simone's a savage. Like
He looked good.
That was one where it was just like I'm like, you know, Jack Shore's Ricky Simone's wrestling is legit. Like he's tough. He's the veteran. Like this is a big step up for Jack Shore. I mean, he's got to lose eventually, right? I mean, that was one where I was like, I felt like I was taking a flyer. I wish I would have sounded a little more confident picking him because Ricky Simone.
Yeah. So does O'Malley want some of that smoke now?
No.
Or
no, that stylistically, that is a nightmare fight for O'Malley.
Yeah.
Ricky Simone's a problem.
Yeah, he's a problem. I'm a fan. Soriano knocks out Lugiambula. Puna looked good too. Man, violence. Next up, we started the main card off. Lauren Murphy. Hey, you called that? Well, you kind of called it. You picked Tate, but you did put a little asterisk there and say
you
don't sleep on Lauren Murphy.
I if I didn't hate Lauren Murphy, I would have picked her.
Yeah.
The problem is like I felt like that. Like I said, I didn't like Tate. Her answer going down to 125.
Yeah.
She's been a bantamweight her whole life.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad she lost that because if she was going to get a title fight off of that, she was going to get destroyed.
You know what sucks?
What?
She looks slow.
She did look slow.
Like her jab and stuff, I was like.
Yep, you text me. You said she looked slow. She did. All right, who do we have next?
She had a fun time at the Yankees game the next day, so who cares?
She did have a great time. Good for her. Shane Burgos and Charles Jourdain. That was a fun fight. I didn't get to see all of that fight.
So,
what'd you think? Did you agree with it?
Burgos talked all that. Yeah, I did. Me and Ammon Garcia argued about it at the gym last night. Love you, Ammon. But no, Burgos won that fight on the scorecard. Jourdain won the fight, though, like the fist fight of it, right?
Yeah.
Jourdain was catching Burgos. And Burgos,
to me, the little bit that I watched, I thought he was winning.
And Burgos said, okay, I'm going to get knocked out here. Screw this. And he made him grapple, body triangled him up a few times, held him against the cage, grappled him to death. They were supposed to just stand and bang, remember, and have this like epic war. And Burgos was like, I ain't losing in front of my home crowd like this, dog. And he, Jourdain, that was one of those things where I felt like Jourdain's stock went up on a loss still.
Yeah.
He took Shane Burgos, who has the reputation of like stand and bang and exciting and this and that with everybody. He stood with Josh Emmett and banged out a great 3-round fight. He stood and banged it. Edson Barboza, remember he had that weird knockout with Edson, but like he's electric. And he fights Air Jourdain, and he said, we're going to wrestle. And I'm like, man, I think that Jourdain, makes a stop. And it shows him where he needs to work on some things a little bit to make sure that doesn't happen again. I think Burgos, fight IQ, being the vet, smart, did what he had to get the win. He wasn't happy with his performance. And then if you're Air Jourdain, like, there's no moral victories in the sport, but that wasn't a bad loss.
That wasn't a bad loss. He's looking good. Next up, fight of the night, Matt Schnell and Suma Daruji. Dude, that fight was
bonkers. Who predicted Matt Schnell by submission?
You did. That was money.
Plus 220 underdog.
That every time, I missed that fight, and I heard our finance guy at the dealership in his office yelling while I'm trying to talk to customers. Oh, he's like, when I rewatched the fight on Sunday, I'm like, man, every time it looked like he was out, he'd throw a bomb back.
Dude, the ref. Okay, now that I bragged, right? That ref could have stopped that fight 3 different times.
See, I didn't know. I thought it was close. It was close.
I know, but it would not have been a bad stoppage. I think the ref did an awesome job of letting it go because he was obviously still in the fight enough to fight back. But if he would have stopped it, I don't think you could have been like, oh, that was terrible. You know what I mean? like Schnell looked unresponsive 3 different times in that round.
I kind of like the Tibetan Eagle. I think he could cause some problems for some people in that division. He's big. He's 5'8".
All 5 losses by submission might have a jiu-jitsu problem.
Yeah, he might. Maybe he cleans it up. How old is he? He's 26, still a kid.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on the next one. That was impressive, man. I think you called this one too. You called the Leech. I took the Russian. I paid for it. The Leech knocking out the Russian. Amanda Lemos, Michelle Watterson. I actually did not watch that fight.
I picked Watterson. I thought she was doing fine. She got caught. She went for a takedown and left her neck in there and got stuck in a guillotine. I mean,
yeah,
it's too bad.
And Yair Rodriguez and Brian Ortega. Ortega had the shoulder injury, popping his shoulder out. Ooh, man, that looked like he might be out for a while.
Well, yeah. So
do we give Yair a little bit of credit because he did have that arm wrapped up?
Yeah, he deserves credit.
I mean,
that's a legit win. So
it wasn't a submission, but
so here's how I view it. He was attacking the elbow joint with an armbar, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, it's a legit win. I mean, part of a fight is whose body holds up longer than the other.
Yep.
Ortega's body didn't. His shoulder popped. And it popped because Yair was applying the correct pressure and had the elbow joints securely isolated and things straight. And when you stack somebody up in an armbar and you're on top like that, you're supposed to make those short jerking motions to get your arm out. And Ortega's arm his shoulder couldn't take it. Like, that's a legit win. Like, that's not it was so, like, just didn't have, for the buildup of that fight, it was just so, just a letdown.
I think Ortega he gets hit way too much for me.
See, that's where I mean, yeah, we've seen him get his absolute face just bludgeoned in twice.
Yeah.
I think that fight was going where Ortega wanted it, though.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he was getting tagged. I thought Yair was
fine.
I know he was fine, but he was eating some shots.
But he got to the clinch and got to grappling where, I mean, good on Yair, but I mean, I think 9 times out of 10, Brian probably wins the round right there if his shoulder holds up and once he gets his arm out, like, yeah, let's put it this way: Yair ain't tapping Brian Ortega, right? Like, can we agree on that?
No, yeah, I don't think so.
He's not catching him, like, he's not arm barring him or taking his neck or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He's not transitioning to a triangle right there in T City. I think that fight was starting to play out where Ortega needed it to be successful. Now, every round has to reset in Yair's range, and Ortega's going to have to eat a few shots to get in and do that again. But I think that Ortega, that fight was going where he needed it to win. Yair's always dangerous. We've seen it. We saw it against Korean Zombie. He freaking beat him at the buzzer last time.
So do you think Ivan just said Yair versus Emmett? Do you think they should run an interim title fight because Volk wants to fight the winner of Makhachev?
Volk's out with a broken hand.
Yeah, so, but he wants to fight the winner next year. He said he wants to fight the winner of that fight early next year because that'll give him enough time to recuperate. He won't be holding up the division. Fights then he comes back down and he takes his title back.
Depending here's the problem. I don't have a problem with Volk going up and fighting 155 if the timing's right. Right? What I do have a problem with is him going up and jumping everybody else at 155 if there's fights for whoever the new champion is, whether it's not new, Oliveira or Islam, right?
Who's there though?
What if Dariush beats Poirier? They just announced that fight.
Sorry. The Volks earned the right to take that shot. Sorry. Nope. Volk has earned that right to call that shot.
Hold on. Let me just.
I know how many he's won, like 8 or 9 in a row.
Okay, so when anybody else wins 8 or 9 in a row, you flip out and say they've deserved it. They have to get it. They've deserved it. With Oliveira at that point, you were
not in this case. Not in this case. You're talking about the number one pound per pound fighter, and you're not going to let him fight because of Dariush. Dariush isn't bringing anything to the table. What is Dariush bringing to the table? Nothing.
Okay, then don't ever argue that somebody has to get a title shot after that many fights in a row again.
I haven't argued that. I'm not arguing that. I don't argue that. It depends on who it is. You know as well as I do. It depends. Oliveira deserved it.
But if Dariush,
nobody cares about Dariush. We're thinking business wise. Nobody gives a shit about Dariush.
Oh my gosh! Jason.
You tell me, are you going to buy a pay-per-view?
Contradicting yourself.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
It's who sells tickets. Who sells pay-per-views? Dariush is not selling pay-per-views. Even if he beats Poirier, nobody's going to care. I promise you.
All I'm saying is if he's out, and then there's a clear number one contender, he should have to defend his featherweight title against a clear number one contender. You can't put the whole division on hold like that.
He's not. That's why he's doing the interim. They're doing the interim between Emmett and Yair.
So
that's the rumor is that's going to be an interim title fight.
That's great. So when does that happen? October?
Yeah, they're talking about towards the end of the year.
Okay.
And then
so they fight in October. So Yair and Emmett fight in October. Yep. Then the winner of that has to. So he can't fight the 155 till with his hand year. What? February, March?
He said early next year. Yeah.
So whoever wins it in October, March has to wait probably at least until mid to late 2023 to unify the title.
Late spring.
No, dude. Volk is not going to. Volk, win, lose, or draw, is not going to be healthy enough to fight the winner of Islam or Oliveira.
It depends when he can fight. If he can fight early 2023, like he says, you got to give it to him, man. You got to give that guy the shot. For what he's done, you have to give it to him.
Okay, no, but I understand what you're saying, but look at the timeline of it. I'm just saying, and I understand a lot of these are hypothetical and you have to see how it plays out. But look at the timeline of it. If Oliveira and Islam don't fight, they're fighting October 22nd.
Yeah.
They're not going to turn around and fight in January or February.
He is. They're going to do the interim, Ivan. That's why they want to do the interim.
No, Ivan's agreeing with me. That's going to be putting it on hold too long. He's going to have to vacate it. It's not worth it.
What's the difference? Interim, vacate. What's the difference? Does it matter?
Yeah.
They're still the champ. Whoever wins is going to be the champ. It's just going to say interim on it till Volk comes back. He's earned the right, in my opinion.
The real difference is actually pay-per-view points if he vacates it.
Why is it different? If they're interim, the interim champ will still get paid pay-per-view points.
But Volk will not. If he goes up to 155 and loses and tries to come down, it's in their contracts.
I would bet you, especially after that video I just sent you, he will get paid. He will get paid championship money. You can't tell me he won't.
Maybe, but that would be out of the goodness of Dana White's heart, not because it's in his contract.
I guarantee it. I can't see it not happening. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm dead wrong. I just think he deserves it. Here. I know. This is what we do. We have a podcast. We make assumptions. We say stupid stuff.
Totally, I think if you're going to let somebody move up and do the champ thing, it's because you've cleaned out the division. There's nothing else there for you.
Kind of has.
But he hasn't fought Emmett or Yair. And if there's an interim time, here's the thing. This is where I would say this. If they just want to make Emmett Yair as a number one contender fight, that's fine. But an interim title is put in place because the active title holder is not available to fight, right?
He's not. He's going to move up.
That's not available to fight. That's him choosing not to defend his 145 title and going after 155.
I don't think he cares if he vacates it or not. I don't really think he cares. It doesn't sound like he cares. He wants to move up.
Well, he cares. He wants to be champ. He doesn't want to just move up. He's not. He wants to stay active in both. No,
I don't think they're going to make it. He's not going to vacate. They're not going to make him vacate it.
Here's the better plan. Here's the better plan if you're Volk. Let those two fight, and then let Volk fight the winner of those two, or like when he comes back, and then let him move up. Because literally after, because literally this is it though at 145. The division is not cleaned out yet at 145, but the winner of this two, it is. It's just like there's nothing else for him, and I don't think either of these guys beat him. I don't think either of these guys present him a super difficult fight. Yair statistically is funky, but he beats Yair. And Josh Emmett, I think I actually stylistically, Volk is the worst possible fight for Josh Emmett.
Neither one of those guys, they don't move the needle for a title.
Yair does. Yair does. Just because he doesn't for you, but he does.
Maybe because he's Mexico. Yeah, he does, but it's just
Emmett doesn't. I'm saying for the integrity of, I understand what you're saying business wise, but integrity to the sport, he should not be allowed to move up if there's a rightful title.
There's no integrity. There's no integrity.
There should be.
Level? There should be, but
yeah, because look, the winner of these two, right? Max, that book's closed. That chapter's over. Brian Ortega, we've already seen that. Beat the brakes off him. That ain't happening. Calvin Kattar, we know because of what's happened to Kattar, the couple times he's gotten the call up in bigger fights, like that ain't there. Arnold Allen probably needs another win or two to get up in that mix. Korean Zombie, he's gone. Giga, nope. Like Bryce Mitchell, Evil Evolve. Like the perfect time is actually to fight the winner of Yair and Emmett, defend his title, and then it's cleared out. Then you're a year out from being able to have anybody up there anyways. Dude,
I think the timing.
Nothing's worse when they try and force a rightful challenger, right? When they're like trying to, like when Amanda Nunes was beating all those women that like had no shot, right? Like they were on like
to me that's what the streets. To me that's where Volk's at. To me, actually, both of those divisions, that's why I want to see Volk go up, because both of those divisions, it ain't gonna matter to me. To me, it's not gonna matter if. I mean, the winner of who's coming up in lightweight, that wouldn't. There's nobody coming up after Oliveira and Makhachev fight. I don't care. Poirier, Gaethje, Chandler, Darush, Fiziev is still a little bit of ways out. Sharukian's still a little bit of ways out. Gamrot, those guys are all still a year away at least. So why not let Volk come out? Make it a super fight. Champ versus champ. Make it a super fight right now where there's nobody coming up that's really moving the needle in any division that's going to be worth a title shot. I don't care to see Yair and Volk or or Emmett and Volk. I would care to see Volk and Oliveira or Volk and Makhachev, and you're not really holding anything up because there's really nobody that's moving the needle. I don't know. It's just my opinion. We can quit arguing about it.
I can't believe that's your stand.
Hey, we have a pay-per-view this weekend. Is it a pay-per-view? No, it's not a pay-per-view. Yeah, it is. No, it's fight night. It's fight night. Why did I think that was a pay-per-view?
I don't know. Probably for the same reasoning that you think that Yair and Volk isn't a good fight.
I think it would be a good fight. I agree with you. Like, I agree with but where are you going to do it at?
Go.
What's next for Holloway at 155? Retire.
You know what? You know what should be next for Max Holloway?
What?
Whatever he wants.
Seriously, he's earned it.
He's earned it.
I don't think he should go to 155. I think we saw what happened because didn't he fight Poirier at 155?
Yeah, for the interim title.
Yeah, he's too small for that, I think.
You ready for? I mean, I just you know here's actually the problem. I guess
bare knuckle. Did you see?
Are you just trying to just
No, listen, wait,
me
hold it.
off
Time out.
today? What are
Time
you
out.
doing?
Time
Bare
out.
knuckle?
Time out. Time out. Time out. Did you see gosh, who was it? Was it Chris Lytle that on TikTok where he talked about why all these guys are going into bare knuckle? We're sitting here saying this is stupid, why are they doing it? But to them, they're fighters and they don't have to put the wear and tear of their body. Like let's just say for you, for an MMA camp, you're going 12 hard weeks. You're having to worry about jiu-jitsu, wrestling, conditioning. All these guys that are fighters, they just have to get in there and throw hands, and that's it. That's why we're seeing a lot of them. I think it was pretty sure it was Chris Lytle that broke that down. I was like, it kind of makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
For these diehard guys that just can't take the wear and tear. Nah, I'm not saying I like it. You know how I feel about that crap, but I get it. It's a payday.
I'll never knock anybody for getting paid. I'll never knock anybody for getting paid. But Max Holloway's made enough money. He doesn't need to go. He doesn't need to go boxing.
Who should he fight? Give me a name.
Conor McGregor. If I'm Max, I'm screaming for the Conor McGregor rematch.
Ooh, I like that.
That's what Max should be going for at this point. Super fights, dude. His legacy as being on the Mount Rushmore of featherweights is set stone.
Oh yeah,
game set match.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
He'll in no time in the foreseeable future will he ever not be in the top 4 featherweights of all time. Right.
Agreed. Yeah, for sure.
So if you're done, he had his title reign and it was great. And you know what? If Volk moves up to 155, he might have another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
for sure.
But Max should do at this point. Max should do fun fights that excite him, and 2 fights that get him paid. He doesn't need to be fighting 3 or 4 times a year. Nobody's Giga and whoever. He doesn't have anything to prove to anybody. He should be fighting fights that gets him paid and let him just be that gamer and get on his Twitch stream and do his thing, dude. Like Max's time as a super active fight 4 times a year. If I'm Max's camp, I'm telling him, you know what, dude, you've taken enough punches and stuff. Chill out. Now when you fight, get paid.
Get paid. I love the McGregor. I love that.
Dude,
that's a huge fight.
Fun.
That would be fun. Huge. That's a good fight. You got coked out McGregor. Did you see the video of him at the pool? Everybody's commenting, "Oh, it's snowing in July." My God, man. He's all right.
That's okay. He got paid too. It's cool.
He got paid too.
Okay. Did you see the odds just came out?
For what?
For Chimaev Diaz.
What? Chimaev is what? Plus 400?
No.
Plus 600?
No, Chimaev. Say Chimaev. Not
or minus. 400. Yeah, he's a 6 to 1.
Keep going.
8. 11.
1150. Nate is plus 750.
Nate's just going in there to get paid. You know he is.
Dude, what if Nate just like went in there and just like, ready? Fighter, are you ready? Fighter, are you ready? Go. And he just like lays down and just taps and just walks out.
And just says, I'm done. UFC. I hope that fight doesn't happen, Mike says.
Oh, it's happening, dog. It's happening.
It's happening.
Co-main event of UFC 279, right under TJ versus Aljamain.
That's gonna be a good fight too.
You know what? I would not have said this a year ago. Yeah. I think Aljamain wins that fight.
You and me both.
And I feel pretty good about it.
He changed my mind last fight.
What he did. You know, I always say this, like when fighters lose, they have to justify it in their head. And one of the easiest ones to be like, man, I just had an off night. He beat me. He was on. I was off. That's why he beat me. Yeah. And he was saying it. And I was like, with Jan, I was like, I don't know. I still think Jan may have won that fight. Like if you go back and watch it, like it was close. But Aljo's ability to take your back and stay on it, like TJ's always been able to be a good defensive wrestler. That's the fight I want to see at featherweight. That.
And yeah, maybe.
You want to talk about interesting? Let
That'd
Volk
be
and
fun.
Henry fight. Because
I
you
like
know
it.
why I want to see it? You know exactly why I want to see it. You want to know why?
Why?
Why do you think I want to see it?
To see Cejudo get his
Because
ass kicked.
Volk destroys Cejudo.
Oh man.
That big headed dwarf, he gets smoked in that fight.
We get slipped. He is gonna
Like,
Oh, Nate Diaz. Oh, Nate, man. Get your money, dude. Get your money. But yeah,
watch Nate slaps on a triangle and flips the bird on Chimaev.
what if he
As
does? What if
Chimaev
he
just
catches
picks him up and boom, Donkey Kong slams him rampage style.
Dude, Chimaev's gotta be, he's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be at 170. You know, it's all good.
Man,
Chimaev just beats Gilbert Burns, and it's like, here's Nate Diaz.
Here's Nate Diaz. Hey, good for him though.
This is
good
nothing,
for him.
This is nothing else than Data just so fed up with people asking about Nate Diaz. He's like, you know what? Fine, Nate. You want your last fight? Here's your last fight. Chimaev. And Nate's like, yeah, I'll fight him. And Chimaev, we might see Nate Diaz unconscious for the first time in a UFC cage.
You think he knocks him out?
Or puts him
Chokes
to
him
sleep. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Nate's pretty slick on the ground, but I don't think it matters.
Hey, it's a great fight. It's a great fight for Chimaev. He's keeps the win streak going.
Okay. Hey, let me okay. This is getting crazy, right?
All right.
Remember how Chimaev got tired in the third round of his fight with Gilbert Burns? Nate Diaz never gets tired.
He's not going to get tired. We know that. Yeah, but
like, what if Nate wrestles Chimaev enough and he gasses and Nate like subs him and then walks out beating Chimaev in the UFC and walks away? Like, that would be the most bonkers ending to a UFC career.
Do I have ever. Let's see if I have. I want to know what Diaz is by submission.
It's his only chance.
Yeah, I don't think there's. Oh, I just realized we get the end of this month. We got Anthony Smith and Ankalaev. Ooh, that's a good fight.
It's a big boy fight.
That's a big boy fight right there. Oh, that would be nuts when that comes out. Diaz by submission. It ain't happening, but
it's not happening. But could you
throw $10 on it?
Could you imagine?
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. That's gonna be a fun one.
I hope they make it 5 rounds.
I can't wait to break down this fight for this weekend.
This London
some
card.
Good ones.
Our boy Chris Curtis co-main event.
Chris Curtis co-main event.
Levitt fighting Patty the Baddie.
Molly McCain, Hannah Goldie. Dude, last time Molly and Patty fought on the same card, they brought the house down over there in London.
Oh yeah,
that crowd's gonna be going nuts.
Who's Molly fighting?
Hannah Goldie.
That's a good fight for Molly.
Paul Craig's back on here.
That's a good fight. No, Chris Curtis. Did you see what he posted?
No.
Here we go.
That he looks like Blades?
No, so it's the so we have the 3 Aljo.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
There you go.
Yeah.
It looked like 3 Pokemon evolved.
I saw it. I did see that.
He just said, ever since I've seen this, I can't unsee this.
Can't unsee it. Yeah. Oh
said,
man.
I haven't reached my final form yet. His final form's Curtis Blades.
I like it. All right. Is that it for today? We'll be back Thursday to break this card down.
I want to see. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Do it.
What?
Let's do it. Let's let Volk fight Henry Cejudo at 145.
I'm up for that. I'm up for that. Cejudo just must want a payday.
That's what he said. He's always wanted. He said the reason why he left is he just he had enough money, and it was for what he was getting paid, it was no longer worth it for him.
Yeah.
But I think he's a little attention whore, and he can't help himself. He wants to be in the spotlight. And his shtick of being annoying and out of the USADA testing pool, it just.
He is an annoying little turd.
What do you think of him calling out O'Malley the way he did after that? And O'Malley saying he was drunk, stumbling around back there.
He's the attention, like you said. He's the attention whore. He just wants the attention. Let him. Why would he want to fight O'Malley? Why? What sense would that make? Right now?
I don't know, but I'd watch it.
I'd watch it, dude. One thing about O'Malley is he's big for that division. He wasn't even tired in that fight. Did you notice he was breathing out of his nose? Yeah. Still breathing out of his nose. Like
he's always had good. He's good. He's got good cardio. Yeah.
Where does he train? Where does he train at?
MMA lab or not? MMA
oh yeah,
lab. Yeah. MMA labs in Arizona.
MMA lab, Arizona. Yeah. That's right. Well. Yeah, crazy.
Go to what? He's being a hype jacker.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys.
The only fight I want to see O'Malley is O'Malley Adrian Yanez. That is it. That's what I want. I think that fight is just bonkers.
Ooh, sign me up. Let's go.
Yeah,
I love it.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you guys Thursday or Friday for a breakdown. Thanks for tuning in. We out. We are out.